shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm pleased to be joined by Brodie Spencer, ahead of our trip to Cambridge United. We'll start with Jonathan Buchan from BBC Radio Leeds.
Brodie, how are you?
I'm very good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, thank you. Give us your take a few days on from what was a manic game here at the weekend, wasn't it? How have you assessed it? Now it's settled a little bit.
Yeah, I think first half was below standards that we've set ourselves this season, yeah, and I think everyone knew that. There's no hiding from that. But football is a game of two halves, so the only thing we could do is go out and try and put a performance on in the second half, which we were able to do, and get two goals back and be able to get a point from the game.
How much analysis goes into the negatives of the first half versus the positives of the second half? Is it quite a difficult balance to know which to focus on?
Yeah, obviously we sort of knew what went wrong in the first half, so there wasn't really much analysis on that. Then it was just recapping on the good stuff in the second half that we need to continue to do.
How do you avoid slow starts like that in future, do you think?
I think in football it just happens sometimes, you know. You can't be at it 100% each game, so that's when we have some things called team values that we need to bring and do every game. So it's just the basics like running and winning your 1v1 duels. I think just if you do that and do the basics right, you can avoid that.
Is it a case of all it takes is for one or two people to be off that, and that can actually have quite a big impact?
Yeah, it can have a domino effect on the team, but I think it's the same in the opposite. You know, if you start the game and someone wins the challenge, it can have the opposite effect on the team and everyone's up for it then.
What about yourself? It was your first professional goal, wasn't it? How much did that mean to you?
Yeah, I was buzzing, to be fair. Feels like forever, you know, and just to be able to finally get that first goal meant a lot.
What about to your family as well? Family, friends? Everyone must have been onto you. Your phone must have been bouncing.
Yeah, of course, everyone always jokes about it, like to me, about when am I going to score my first goal. So to be able to finally do that, was receiving a lot of messages just congratulating me and stuff, so that was nice.
How much emphasis do you put on that side of your game? What was it something that you've been desperately looking to get? Yeah,
to be fair, I was at the end of the training, I've been joining in with the strikers and stuff, just getting a bit of shooting, pissing them off probably, but yeah, it's been good.
Did they give you advice? Did they give you tips? I mean, it wasn't a strike as such in the end, was it? You sort of had to get your body in the right position, didn't you, to make sure you directed it towards goal?
Yeah, they're always giving advice. You know, even though I'm a defender, you do find yourself in them positions and in them situations. So just being able to know what to do and sort of what to do in them situations just helps.
How much does Michael Duff encourage that and get that out of you as well?
Yeah, as you know, when you're playing wing backs, you know, he really likes you being attacking and getting in the box, especially from set pieces as well, you know, being aggressive and getting first contacts on the ball.
And it was Northern Ireland coming to the rescue, wasn't it? What's it like in the camp knowing that you've got those little relationships?
Yeah, it's good. You know, I think the team I have now, there's a lot of them little relationships going on, so to be able to go out there, obviously, and me and Cam both get the goal and being two Northern Irish lads was very good.
This time of year, Christmas, what's it like for you? What's it like as a player at this time?
Yeah, it's a bit hectic. You know, you have game, then recovery, game. It's very, very busy, you know. It's quite hard at times as well, you know. Other people, are your friends and family, are out eating what they want, having obviously a drink and stuff, and we're obviously not able to do that, so just trying to stay focused and being able to do the right things on and off the pitch is quite difficult, but obviously it's a sacrifice we need to make as footballers, so yeah.
What will you miss the most about a Christmas if you weren't a footballer, I suppose?
Probably just spending it with my family. You know, I think it'll be my second or third Christmas now away from home, and yeah, it's quite difficult at that time, but obviously I still have my teammates not around, which makes it quite a bit easier.
Yeah, how big is that? Because there'll be a few of you that won't be with your families. You know, you've obviously got players that families might even be abroad this year as well. So what's it like when you've got that sort of bond between you for those of you who don't have family nearby? Yeah,
it makes it a lot easier. You know, the lads are always dropping each other's texts, and obviously I live beside Colin and stuff as well, so I'm sure me and him will be with each other on Christmas, and also have my girlfriend there, so that makes it quite a bit easier as well.
And training Christmas Day as well, what's that like?
Yeah, it's not the best, but it's just another day in training, you know. We just see it as another day, so everyone comes in fully focused and ready to learn.
Is there a little bit more of a festive spirit about on the day itself?
Not while we're training, no. It's just a normal training day for us. Outside the training, yeah, but while we're in training, it's just another training day.
What about Cambridge next then? It's a Friday night game. It's a long trip down there on the Friday night as well, but they're coming into it off the back of what is a really good point, as you guys know. Going to Wrexham and getting a point's not easy.
Yeah, we know what we know now in this league. If you're off at the slightest bit, you'll get punished for that. So we need to go there with the mindset of any other game that we need to go there and compete and try and win the 3 points just like they will.
Because lots of people will look at the table, won't they, and go, oh, Town up top end, they're down the bottom end, right, okay, Town should get something done down there. It's quite easy to say that from the outside.
Yeah, it's quite easy to say that, but then you look at the Wrexham game, everyone's expecting Wrexham to go there and take 3 points, but it's not that easy. No one's going to just go and give you 3 points. You need to go there and earn it.
Good stuff, top man. Thank you.
No problem.
Cheers, Johnny. Welcome to Stephen Chicken from We Are Terriers next.
Hi, Brodie. Good to see you.
Right,
You've had to play a lot of different roles this season. What do you feel you've learned from that experience of playing in different positions?
I think since I've been quite young, I've always been able to go in and out of different positions, and I think most time the principles just stay the same. Obviously, just winning your duels, keeping the ball, and just being tidy. Obviously, it's a bit different when you are playing on the pitch, especially at wing back when you're more attacking rather than when you're playing centre back and it's more defensive. I think it's learning and adapting, and obviously just I'm always asking questions to the coaches and that, just trying to take in as much information as I can.
Obviously, we talked about your goal, obviously an assist as well for you on Saturday. Is that a side of the game that you're constantly working on, particularly knowing, obviously, if you're playing at wing back in this system, there's going to be, Michael's talked about, you're only as good as your wing backs in this system.
Yeah, 100%. I'm always working on that side of the game. I think that's something that I can improve on a lot, is my attacking side of the game, and I'm always on training, just joining in afters and doing extra work on that.
You're out of contract at the end of the year, I think I'm right in saying. Has there been much conversation around that, much thought about what might be ahead, or is it just...
No, I still have, so after this season I still have 1 more year left, so yeah, as far as I'm aware and as far as I want, I'll be at Huddersfield.
Lovely, okay, that's good to hear. Are you enjoying your football at the moment? It's obviously a different level, but you're enjoying the challenge of trying to get back up to the Championship? Yeah,
100%. It's a very competitive league, and we have a very competitive team at the moment, so yeah, I'm really enjoying the challenge.
Cheers, Steve. We'll just come to Stuart Rayner from the Yorkshire Post last.
Hi, Brodie. We had Michael Hellick was up recently, and Catherine from the BBC was talking to him about how much he enjoyed scoring goals. I mean, you're a player with a lot of defensive skills, but is there still that buzz from being involved at the glamour end of the pitch?
Yeah, 100%. It's a buzz like you don't really feel as a defender. Just being able to get up there and get that goal, it's a great feeling, and to be able to help and to get a point means a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say that not just the fact that you scored, but the fact that it actually meant something.
Yeah, 100%. I think that goal obviously was a bit of a turning point in the game and was able to sort of switch the momentum to our side, and I think everyone in the stadium sort of felt it, and they were able to get behind us and help us push for another goal.
And in the early part of the season, when you were still getting used to the new manager's methods and what have you, do you think you'd have had that turnaround in you as a team to come from 2 down?
Probably not. I think there's been a big switch in mentality from the players, not only the players, the staff and everyone around the club, just sort of changing from a losing mentality. I think earlier on in the season that we don't come back in that game. Probably just try not to concede a third goal, but as you've seen on Saturday, we were pushing and able to get 2 goals.
And in terms of that mentality, it's something the manager's very big on, but does he do anything sort of specific to implement it, or is it just sort of the mood around the place and the way he is with you?
I think it's just the way he is with us, the way he talks to us, the way he makes us believe in one another. He's really brought the team together now, and everyone believes in each other and knows how good each other are, and it makes it so much more easy on that pitch when you do go a goal behind and no one's going to give up on you and everyone's going to continue to work hard and try and win.
And obviously the nature of this season with the new TV deal, lots of different kick-off times. Do you look at a Friday night game as an opportunity to put pressure on the rest, or do you just see it in its own?
No, I just see it as another game. Another game and another opportunity to get 3 points. Just take it game by game.
Smashing. Thanks, Brodie.
No problem.
Thank you very much, everybody. We'll be back shortly with head coach Michael Duff.
Thank you.
Shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Lovely smiles, they are.
Brilliant. And then we'll do
Yeah, different now.
Uh-oh, security. Say hello. Hey, how are you, my man? You good?
Thank you very, very much.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being a supporter. You've been here for a lot longer than
40
me.
years.
40?
Yeah.
You're still a kid.
Yeah.
You're still a kid. I mean,
Yeah.
and were you born in Huddersfield?
Yes.
Were you?
Yeah.
You still live here now?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. I find that there are a lot of people that were born and raised and stay here.
But it's only a small place.
No, it's beautiful.
But
It's a one of a kind. I think it's one of a kind. Hey, what are you?
I've known for some time. Royce, Kevin Nagle.
Kevin, pleasure to meet you.
I was the first person on the site officially when we started building.
We're going to touch you. There is.
For good luck. Sod turning events with Dennis Law.
Yeah.
I was here first because I had to set up the PA system.
That's right. Yeah. So a whole lot of years later, here it is. We're now getting into like what I would say 2.0. You know, we're going to modernize it a little bit. You're seeing kind of the first part of it on the inside of the stadium. You heard we're putting new offices in. Where we will look. The bottom line is we want to be promoted. And we know that we had to make a couple changes. We're in 4th place right now. And I think that by the end of January, you'll be very happy with what we've done.
Right.
And our fans. What do you think?
This is a bit big.
Fantastic. Good atmosphere. Keep it clapping going. Come on. Yes.
I know Hello, buddy. Jensen, don't be in it. Yeah, show your imps badges, boys.
Good afternoon, boys.
Yeah, it's good to see you, man. Good to see
You'll be freezing in shorts and t-shirt. Oh, man.
Thank you very much.
You doing all right?
All right. You know what I mean? Makes you laugh. You do. There you go.
Yeah.
Pull it in.
Alright, Carl. How's your stomach? How's your chest, mate? Alright?
Come on, off we go.
Side steps, this time we're jumping, nice and high. Get some height. Fast as you like, go back. We're getting at it tonight. Fast matches. Every time we get out the pass.
You still bringing that up?
Yeah, Brodie's bringing them up.
Got him, yeah.
Go for each other! Lead each other! Let's go! Come on! What he's saying, nice and right. Let's go nice and quick. A great opportunity to demonstrate the team beliefs. Come on. Everyone together. Let's go.
sleeping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm pleased to be joined by head coach Michael Duff. We'll start, as we do, with Jonathan Buchan from BBC Radio Leeds.
Hi, Michael.
Hiya.
Can we start with the illness in the camp, if possible? How's that going at the moment? With we saw a couple at the weekend, obviously struggling.
Yeah, it's been going through the. It's strange, because they normally last for a week, but this has been. It seems to be one or two. Been going for about 3 or 4 weeks now, so it's. Leesy's back in. He's back. Matt Pearson didn't feel very well during the game. That's why he had to come off. Like I said, there's been some staff members with it as well. So we've had a couple missing this week. Hopefully they should be back because it's the back end of the week. It should be okay.
How difficult is that to make them stay away or know when to bring them back if you are having to keep them out?
Oh, it's an easy decision. It's once they come in, they say they're not going to get sent home.
Right.
You can't do anything with it. You can't take the risk. It's going back to the old days really, where it's just trying to keep them away from everyone's distancing. And it's sort of, they're all getting similar sort of symptoms where they feel lethargic and a lot of sickness and diarrhoea. So it's not ideal. But there's a lot of it going around in the whole country. It's that time of year. So yeah, just trying to protect the group as much as we can.
And injuries wise, how's Lasse Sorensen after the weekend?
Yeah, Lasse's, I don't think he'll be ready for the weekend, but it's positive news. He basically irritated a bit of scar tissue. So he's not re-injured it, he's not re-pulled his hamstring, which was what was the fear. So we probably will keep him out for a little bit of time, but it's not going to be a 7 or 8 week job like it was the last time, because he hasn't re-injured it. It's just a bit of the original healing process. It just irritated a bit of the scar tissue. So yeah, good news on that one.
Yeah, relief for you and for him, I imagine, as well.
And part of it is him learning his own body as well. He's never been injured before. So as you get older, you get an idea, because obviously we go through all the numbers. Did we put him in too soon? Was it anything else? And it's just a different sensation. He wasn't confident with it, again, because he doesn't know. But ultimately, the most pleasing part is he hasn't re-injured it. We're not going to miss him for another 8-9 weeks. With the amount of games coming up and the position that he plays, it's important we have as many bodies available as possible.
Is it about managing players like that through psychologically as well, if he hasn't, like you say, had an injury before like that?
Yeah, well, it's the same with all of them. All the injuries are different. They're all at different stages of their lives. In terms of, Lass isn't from this part of the world. But you get other lads who've got, Mikhail's just had a newborn baby, so they're all on their own little journeys, and they all have their ups and downs when they're injured. But Lass he's pretty ABC. He's pretty simple in terms of you know where you are with him. He's not particularly complicated, and he's easy to look after.
What about David Kasuma as well? He took that knock to the back of his leg, didn't he? But played on. Is he okay? Is he all right?
Again, yeah. It was contact. So it was a dead leg in the back of his hamstring. But because of the sensation, he thought he pulled his hamstring, just because he felt the sensation of it like banging. But yeah, that was just a dead leg. So David will be fine. Good job really as well, because we are light in that area of the pitch.
You going to say anything else? Any other new issues that you need to worry about ahead of this one?
No, but it's that time of year where the phone goes at 10 o'clock tonight, and it's like, if it's a physio, it's bad news. So hopefully everyone's gets through it. Obviously the sickness doesn't add to any numbers, and yeah, fingers crossed.
What did you learn about your squad from Saturday's game, do you think?
We learned we can't have 45 minutes like that in this league. But I also learned that they're showing a little bit more resilience. A lot more resilience. I think there's a relationship between the supporters and the players which is growing. That's definitely the noisiest it's been since I've been here. And the only frustration is that we didn't actually go on to win the game. I keep saying we haven't got a 93rd, 94th minute goal, whether it's an equaliser or a winner yet. That's probably the next part. But yeah, I thought the resilience, the attitude, particularly in the second half, just to do simple things really, just play a little bit quicker, was good. So they're taking information, people coming off the bench and affecting the game positively. So there was, as frustrating as it was, it's another game unbeaten. I think it's 23 points or 24 points from 10 games. So it's and we protected that unbeaten run. So yeah, there was, as frustrating as it was, there's lots of positive markers.
How do you split the analysis after a game like that of the negatives of the first half and going through those, and the positives of the second half and going through those? How do you make that decision of which way to split it when you're analysing it afterwards?
Told the story of the game. So we showed him the first bits in the first half, and then we showed him the difference in the second half. And results are pretty clear. So sometimes you can try and get too clever, but they're not daft. They're savvy enough to know that they weren't at it. It wasn't helped by other things like Matty being ill and things like that. He wasn't the only one who was off it. Poor goals, which hasn't looked like us. But then the positive was, like I said, all those things, and you show them when they do play a little bit quicker and a little bit more energy and tempo. You look at the reaction of their players when the goal goes in. They're all absolutely out because they were fighting. So it's difficult, but we got ourselves out of a hole just. So hopefully it's another warning shot.
And your changes at the break had such a dramatic impact as well. Does that show that you really now have a full understanding of each player in your squad and what they can actually bring when you need to make a change like that?
From my point of view, it's a free hit when you're 2-0 down at half time. What's the worst going to happen? You get beat 3-0. So I don't think it's definitely don't think it was a tactical masterclass or anything like that. It was just trying to energise them a little bit more. We've said JK, he does carry a threat out there. That's why we played him there against Wigan. But he's also our top goal scoring centre forward. So it's a balancing act to try and get the right thing. Did we learn something from it? Probably, yeah. And that's no slant on Josh Ruffles. He's been excellent when he's come in. But when we play almost 5 centre halves across the pitch, it's difficult when you're at home and there's an expectancy with it as well. So it's something we'll have to look at.
And you're only as good as your wing backs, aren't you, in that sort of system? And Josh Cromer was absolutely outstanding that second half there.
Yeah, well, we were camped in their half, so he basically went and played in his old position of left wing. He didn't do a lot of defending at all, and Nigel was comfortable defending 1v1 out there anyway. So like you said, you're pretty fluid in formations now. It was almost a lopsided 4-3-3. We've been pressing in a 4-4-2, but we start with, in possession, we wanted to play with a 6 and 2 8s and then out of possession. So you have to be quite fluid now. But no, one thing, Josh does look comfortable out there, and it gives you food for thought.
Are the players getting used to being fluid like that as well? Are the players getting used to that?
I think it's just the modern day thing now. It's every team. Started with Pep, probably started it a while back when he started putting centre halves and full-backs, and a lot of teams now build with 3 centre halves and 2 centre midfielders. They do it all different types of way, where they put a full-back in there, a centre half goes in there. Look at what Ipswich did last year. Leif Davis just runs up and down the left-hand side, and then they all play with 2 10s, but out of possession they're 4-2-3-1. So it's just part of the game. You're just trying to. But what you don't want to do is tie them up. So the messages need to be fairly simple. Because it's all right having 1,000 solutions. The players need a couple, and that's the thing that they did do at half time. They took new information, they delivered it well.
Kevin Nagle was obviously here. We spoke to you after the game as well, and he popped into the dressing room. Did you have any further conversations before he disappeared back off?
Yeah, I had about 20 minutes with him in the boardroom. He was happy. He wants to win, obviously he wants to win, but I think he's seen the same things everyone else. He's a bit of spirit, a bit of fight. The stadium was bouncing. One of the girls at the training ground stopped me today and she said she's not been picked up like that for years. So when the second goal went in, she got picked up by the bloke stood next to her. So little things like that you're hearing and people are seeing it and feeling it. So it's he was really pleased with the spirit that was shown. That was the main part. We found every which way to lose it earlier in the season. So he's seen that. He got frustrated during that time, as we all did, and he was proud of the players ultimately.
Did you get your bottle of wine off of him? You said to Oggy. Did you? Yeah.
Oh,
was it good? Have you had it?
I had a glass. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
I like free things, so it's if it's free, I'll normally take it.
We were speaking to Brodie Spencer about this time of year, for footballers and the sacrifices they have to make, being away from family, all those sorts of things. How do you find it? You've obviously done it for many, many years. Some of these players are doing it for the first or second time. So how do you sort of help them through that?
I don't know what the case is part of the job. You just get used to it. You know, I think the last 3 Christmas days I was in a hotel. So, but it's part of your life. It's one time. A lot of people say they don't earn their money. They do. There's a lot of sacrifice, but it's the best job in the world. But it's also tough. People just see the frilly stuff. They don't see the commitment. They don't see the hours and hours and hours on coaches. They don't see all the work that goes in to get to the level that they are now. And it's just another sacrifice that you got to make. It's, you know, the rest of the country is going out, literally eating what they want, drinking what they want, doing everything, and they can't do it. We've given them a schedule. They're all right for days off, but you know, they had a big meeting today with the nutritionist and the sports science team in terms of it's not a day off. It's a psychological rest, but they still should be working in terms of eating the right things, drinking the right things, and the information they get now is unbelievable. You know, I think we've got 3 nutritionists at the football club. The information they get, they literally spoon feed them and they're giving them it. So there's no excuse. And we talk about it's the work you're doing in the shadows when no one's watching. You know, that's a real team, mate. We have them for 5-6 hours a day. There's another 18. So are they living their lives right? Are they doing the right things? Are they stretching? Are they drinking the right things? Not glasses of wine. But yeah, it's a brilliant time of year because there's so many games and attendances normally go up, and but it is tough as well. It's particularly for the ones with the younger kids as well, because that's what Christmas is about, really.
And the days off for those who don't have family nearby could be the tricky ones as well, couldn't they? If they haven't got people close to.
Yeah, because sometimes the lads want to come in to see people. So again, but hopefully they've all made provisions, and generally the family have to come to you at Christmas, which brings its own pressures as well. So it's I remember I said I'd be eating spaghetti bolognese when everyone else is having a Christmas meal because I was a weirdo, so I had to have spag bowl before a game. So they find a routine, they find a rhythm with it.
What do you make to this game being a Friday night, one of the busiest travel days of the year, and yet you've got a sold out away attendance coming to it?
Yeah, brilliant. Again, you talk about sacrifice and commitment. You know, that's a commitment for supporters to get on the road, not knowing how long it's going to take. It's different for us. We're getting paid to get on a bus and sit in comfort. But people rejigging hours to go and watch a team that they might not. There's no guarantee we're going to win. But hopefully it's a similar feeling to the Mansfield game when they were brilliant, unbelievable, got us through the game. And hopefully we can send them out happy. So yeah, it's in terms of when the game is, it's waiting the schedule a long time ago. It's Friday night. But yeah, I think it's brilliant from the supporters, the commitment that they're now showing.
And in terms of Cambridge as a side, then they got a good point. You know what it's like to get a good point at Wrexham. How impressive were they in that?
Yeah, fully deserved point. It wasn't a smash and grab by any means. You look at the stats, you look at the goals they scored. I think we're the only 2 teams that have taken points off Wrexham, so it's no mean feat. And like I said, it wasn't Wrexham camped in their box for 85% of the game, just getting absolutely peppered. It wasn't the case at all. They were good value for it. So they've obviously got a really experienced manager, worked at a lot higher level than this. The front 3 are definitely a threat. You know, I had Daniel Underloo at Cheltenham when he was at Southampton. He's played in the Premier League as a young lad. Shane Lavery I tried to sign when I was at Barnsley, and obviously everyone knows Kachunga from his time here. So they're a definite threat. So we'll go there as we always do, prep properly. Can't turn up for 45 minutes like we did in the first half Saturday because we'll get beat.
Thanks, Michael. Cheers.
Cheers, Johnny.
Cheers, Johnny. Welcome to Stephen Chicken from We Are Terriers.
Hi, Michael. Just back on team news, if I can, please. What was did everything get signed off with Joe Hodge from Wolves' end?
I think Wolves want to see him again in a week.
Okay.
But no, he's training. He's modified at the minute, but he's on the grass. He's with the lads. He's going in as a floater and things like that. But he's looking good. He's looking really sharp. Looks strong. He's absolutely chomping at the bit. Which is why Wolves are sort of slightly hesitant, because he's had this problem before that he's so desperate to play. He ends up damaging himself. Sometimes the players are their own worst enemies, so they're just protecting their assets. So something we have to respect. We're in constant dialogue with them. You know, I spoke to Steve Davis, who's their loans manager. He came in a couple of weeks ago. I spoke to him last week. So it's he's probably the next one back in.
Yeah. So as it was with Bojan, Lee Nichols and Anthony Evans then?
Yeah, they're still no nearer.
Okay. We're right in saying Nigel's suspended as well for Friday. So is that, I mean, all the more reason I suppose you want Leesy and Matty fully recovered and ready to be available. It's we were talking last week about how many options you've got there now, and suddenly it's considering options, isn't it?
Well, it's the one area of the pitch we can cover.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's the midfield, because you talked about Hodgie, Anthony Evans, good players at this level, and to have gone such a long time without them, and we are bare in that area of the pitch. So the centre halves, we've got a bit of flexibility. We can change it. We can change it around because we have got bodies there.
Might you have to look to the B team for Friday to make up the numbers?
I think we'll just about be all right. I think we might take one of the two of them anyway, just because of the illnesses and things like that. And like I said, it's quite a long way away, so it's not going to be easy if you get a phone call at 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon and go, "Can you send a player down?" Because you won't get there. So yeah, that's something we've planned out training today, and we'll sit down and see if we need to fill the squad with a couple more bodies tomorrow.
I think something a lot of fans are talking about. Sorba Thomas is back out the side at Nantes. Has there been any conversation with them? Is there any possibility he comes back here in January? What's his situation?
I don't know fully the deal. I think the break clause in the contract is on their end.
Yeah. So
we can't call him back. They can send him back if they want to. I think there is a break. There's normally a week's in the contract. So yeah, it's not something that I've thought too much about, because obviously once he went on loan, there was no recall. So I don't know, if I'm being honest. So we'll have to wait and see.
Is that just something? Yeah, you'll have to make a decision on that when if
well, it's not our decision.
Yeah.
So I don't worry about. I've got enough decisions to make without worrying about ones I'm not in control of.
Appreciate you clearing that up for us, though. That's it from me. Thank you.
Perfect. Cheers, Stephen. We'll just come to Stuart Rayner from Yorkshire Post Leicester.
You used a phrase there, Michael, about protecting the unbeaten run. I mean, obviously, take it to extremes. You don't want to be drawing 46 games a season, but when you're in this sort of run, how important is protecting that unbeaten run?
It's just momentum. We do want to win. We don't want to draw. Last year was a perfect example of too many draws. Generally doesn't end very well. And we lost too many games in a short space of time earlier in the season, so we've had to dig ourselves out of a hole. And like I said, there's a bit of belief now. But it's just trying to harness it and grow it, and it doesn't all fall apart. We get beat on Friday night, it's not the end of the world. It'd be disappointing, clearly, because for lots of different reasons. End of the result, over 1,000 supporters travelling down on a busy day, but it's not the end of the world. And it's motivating as much as anything, because it's like, right, you can go again, and you can. We had a presentation with him last week. There's no reason why you can't win every week. You don't have to. People go, "Oh, you're bound to lose eventually." Why? Not if you turn up right every week, and everything goes. Sometimes you need a little bit of luck. You might need a referee decision to go your way, or a bounce of a ball, or something like that. Because it's hard to win a game. So it's getting the balance of being a motivation and taking it for granted that it's just going to happen.
And Brodie Spencer was in earlier, and he said he wasn't sure that second half from 2-0 down was in this team earlier in the season. I mean, do you share that view?
No, he's right, because it never happened.
Yeah.
So probably the comparison I used was the Northampton game. 2-0 down and never really looked like getting back in it. The stadium was empty, 95th minute, completely empty. You're walking around clapping two people. And Lincoln are a better team with respect than Northampton. So to come back and what I think we should have won the game in the end. But as we talk about, it takes time. It takes time. It takes trust. It takes relationships. And the players deserve the credit, because ultimately they're the ones that are turning it around on the pitch. It's easy. I'm the same as a lot of the supporters. When you're just pointing at people, shouting "Be there, be there," it's pretty simple. It's the same as when you're in an analysis room. Do this, do that. It's when there's emotion and adrenaline and feeling and all those things going on in a game, which 100 mile an hour, to have that clarity, that's when the players deserve the credit.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I totally understand what you're saying about the first half performance and all those sort of things. Do you think when you look back at it just in isolation at that aspect, that it was a bit of a landmark in that you've been tested in that way and you've responded and got a draw? I'm not sure if you feel there's been another game like that this season where you've...
I just think there's been incidences in that over the last few weeks where things have gone wrong and we've reacted miles better. We've sort of like, right, okay, it's happened. Stick to the plan, stick to the process, whatever you want to call it. Everyone goes nuts at, rather than turning into a team of individuals, and that's what we felt was happening early in the season. You know, you see it in the training ground. They do it, and whether it's an own goal or a referee decision or an injury, people just decided. It felt like people decided just to sort of protect themselves mode, and that doesn't work in football because it's a team game. So it's getting them to recognise, well, we think you're a good team when you do this. So if you have a little bit of a knock, get back to doing that rather than focusing on, well, this happened last year and that happened the year before and this happened and this happened. And I'm not saying they consciously do that, but that's what we felt. They felt like they turned into a team of individuals where they're just trying to protect themselves and survive, which is not what we want. You know, we want to go and win. We don't want to not lose. You know, it's that mentality again of being relentless in everything we do.
And you talk about individuals. I mean, do you think a lot of that is less about confidence in themselves and more about confidence in their teammates, in the collective, that I've got people around me who together we can get out of this? Yeah, well, that's the everyday cultural things that we talk about, behaviours. They're doing it right all the time, and you know, it's a nice feeling when you're stood in a tunnel and the bloke behind you and the bloke in front of you are facing the same direction as you. And again, that's a subliminal feeling. It's not what you're consciously thinking, but that's why we set the standards there. You know, so. And sometimes people have fallen foul of not training properly or being late for a meeting. It's all right, you're not in the team then. We're setting new standards. And they're starting to understand that we mean it. So I want them to have a laugh and a joke, but there's work time as well. So they do get days at home, but when they're in. Working, not going through the motions, not cutting corners. You know, we've had a few issues earlier in the season of tiny little things, you know, someone jumping off a bike after 15 minutes when they should have done 20, and letting people get away with it. Someone doing 15 press-ups instead of 20 press-ups on the forfeit, it's not acceptable. And they're the bits that take time, because you can't just demand respect. You know, you've got to earn it, and that comes from each other as well. So, yeah, there's lots of markers moving in the right way. And the chairman mentioned in his last video diary about initial moves having been made for January. Are you quite pleased with where you are as a club in terms of the groundwork to hit the ground running in January?
I'll tell you on the 31st of January, because it's all great at the minute, but the window's not open. So no, there's lots of work going on, and I say every man would tell you, it's hard to get a deal done. Lots of things need to fall in place, and it can change quickly, as we know. So, you know, there's been areas of the pitch identified, there's been people identified, and like I said, there's been moves made, as in contact made with agents, clubs, all that sorts of things. So hopefully we can get things done as quickly as possible, because no one wants to get to the 31st of January. That isn't the plan. Now, if it ends up being the plan, it's because other things have got in the way. So yeah, it's happy at the minute with where we think it's going, but thinking and doing are two different things.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Stuart. Thanks, everybody. We'll speak to you again soon.
Shopping, working, and relaxing online can attract various digital threats. To improve your protection against them, just turn on NordVPN. This cybersecurity app will block web trackers and malware-infected sites. It will also encrypt your internet traffic without losing a smooth connection. Get NordVPN now. NordVPN, cybersecurity built for every day.